Once again, this is Pastor Flynn with our weekly meditation. And as we continue through Psalm 37, our weekly meditation today is Psalm 37, verses 9 through 11. For evildoers shall be cut off, but those who wait on the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall be no more. Indeed, you will look carefully for his place, but it shall be no more. But the meek shall inherit the earth and delight themselves in the abundance of peace. How do we live in a perverse and wicked generation? How are we supposed to react when evil goes unpunished? What are we supposed to do? This is what Psalm 37 is about. This is what Psalm 37 teaches to those who will follow the word of the Lord, those who will place their trust in him and not in their own wisdom. So far, we've been warned. Do not be overcome by anger. Do not be overcome by anger. Do not be overcome by anger. Cease from anger. Flee from wrath. It only causes evil, and you cannot overcome evil with more evil. We are commanded not to fall into the other ditch as well by not being envious of the wicked and their prosperity. This is what we are not supposed to do so far, but what are we supposed to do? Trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord again. Continue doing good. Live. Take ownership of the land in which you dwell among the wicked. Feed on the faithfulness of the Lord. Delight yourself in his ways and his word. Rest in his promises and wait patiently for him to act. The battle is the Lord's. And the Lord promises that he will cut the wicked down. They will wither and dry up, and he will vindicate you. He will vindicate those who wait on him and are faithful to his word. He will vindicate you in the sight of all. Your righteousness will shine as a light in the day of the Lord's reckoning. Now, today's meditation in verses 9 through 11 continues the same thought. In these verses, we see that our response to wickedness is to be meek. And an essential aspect of meekness is patience. Waiting on the Lord. Again, waiting on the Lord. Meekness is power under control. It is confident humility. It means being submitted to the will of the Lord, even though you have the power to strike back against an adversary. John Piper describes meekness wonderfully as the power to absorb adversity and criticism without lashing back. This restraint is not because of fear or weakness, but rather in submission to the word of the Lord. That's the reason to not lash back, is in submission to the word of the Lord. Now, Moses embodied this in his leadership of Israel. David embodies meekness in refusing to kill Saul, even though he had the ability to do so, refusing to kill him, remaining faithful to the word of the Lord. Of course, Jesus is the perfect example of meekness, and Jesus's quality of meekness was clearly seen in the Garden of Gethsemane, when Peter took out a sword and attacked those who came to arrest him. Jesus tells Peter to put the sword away and that he could call down more than 12 legions of angels if he wanted to, but he will submit to the word of the Lord and to the will of the Father and go to the cross. That is true meekness. Unlimited power, but in faithfulness to the will of the Father, he will endure suffering, even though he had the ability to not. He had the ability to deliver himself, but he's faithful to the word of the Lord. But Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount quotes our weekly meditation today, this section of Psalm 37. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Matthew chapter 5, verse 5. This is describing Jesus's character, and it is to be the character of all his disciples, all who follow him. Christians are called to be meek. Meekness is manifesting the image of Christ. Like Jesus, like David, like Moses, in the face of the wicked, we are to absorb adversity and criticism in submission to the word of the Lord, submitting ourselves to the word of the Lord, not lashing back in anger or giving up in frustration, but waiting patiently and confidently for our sure vindication that the Lord promises. And in Psalm 37, the Lord also promises that the wicked will be cut off, they will disappear, cut off again, and they will disappear, and we will inherit the earth. Indeed, meekness is actually how we inherit the earth. Well, until next time, thanks for listening. Glory to the Lord of hosts.